You must learn to detach yourself from your thoughts. You might have a certain thought in your head, and it's just not giving up. It's not giving you space. It's ruining your life. It's making you feel shitty. In fact, every emotion usually is preceded by the thought. Like there's a thought in your head, and you just replay the thought, and it creates an emotion. The emotion, if you hear the word, it's energy, right? Energy, motion. It's in motion, right? The thoughts are kind of like what's driving this thing. It's like the fucking driver of the vehicle, okay? Now, let me give you an example. If right now I told you, what was the last problem you had? The last thing that bothered you in life? Giving you time. Okay. That last thing that bothered you in your life. This is going to be a deep question, but I'm going to ask you, and I want you to really think about this. Was it the thing itself that happened that bothered you? Or was it your internal dialogue that bothered you? In other words, when someone cuts you off in traffic and then you start bitching in your head and you're just like, oh my God, I fucking hate when people do this, fuck Miami, fuck whatever. Or even worse, you fucking say it out loud to them. What's the bothersome moment? Is it the fact that they cut you off? Or is it the fact that you reacted? Really think about that. Understand your entire life from up until now and in the future. What I'm teaching you in this video could change your entire life so dramatically. So dramatically. Identification with thought is the only cause of any problem you will ever have. That was so deep. I'm gonna take a sip of water as you think about that. For example, people ask me, yo, Sergio, how do you talk on camera so easily? Because guys, you know how much preparation I did? None. No preparation. No thinking about what I'm gonna say. No practice of some sort that got me into camera mode or whatever. I am literally here just expressing myself. I wouldn't even say I'm expressing my thoughts. I think I'm expressing myself, and I think that's what makes it powerful. Okay? Now, what happened is before I started filming all the time, and for those of you who don't know, I used to be very socially anxious, and I'd have trouble dating women, meeting new people. I'd have trouble doing these things. Of course, I had trouble talking on camera. That was very difficult too, because I felt self-conscious. I felt like people were judging me. And basically, that was me back then. But now, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. And essentially what that means, that I don't give a fuck statement, essentially means I don't have any negative thoughts replaying in my head, causing negative emotions, which would cause me to not take these actions. The actions that got me good at dating, that got me good at socializing, that got me good at talking on camera, that got me good at all these social skills, basically. So the question might become, okay, Sergio, we get it. We understand we're not our thoughts. We understand our thoughts are the only source of any of our problems and negative emotions. How do we take back control of our life? Because actually, before I answer that question, I want to tell you something. When you were a kid, when you were 5 years old, 4 years old, how happy were you? Chances are you were a lot happier than now. You got to ask yourself, will life ever be that blissful again? It was a question I've always had. I've always wondered, like, will I ever be as happy as when I was a kid? Is it even possible? Or is that nature of life? When you're a kid, you're happy. When you're an adult, you're not. When you're a man, when you're a grown-ass man, you're not supposed to be happy. Right? You ever heard of that? It's very common masculine advice they give you. To me, it's all bullshit. And I was foolish enough to to get influenced by this advice just a little bit. But then I realized something. I was like, wait, this isn't true. The idea that men are not supposed to be happy, or that we can't be happy, or like that's not natural, it doesn't make sense to me. Because if you think of powerful figures, people that people look up to, like the Buddha, Jesus, and these are religious kind of spiritual leaders, right? But there's many leaders. It doesn't have to be these people. It could be Gandhi. It could be, who else could it be? Whoever you look up to and you want to be more like, and usually they're pretty happy people of some sort. At least ideally, you look up to people like that. If you don't, you need to switch your idols. You don't want to have an idol on someone who's simply rich and successful, and you think that's what you want. You think you want that, but I'm telling you, once you have that and you're not happy, you're going to be like, actually, I'd rather be happy. See, I'd rather be happy and 75% successful than 100% successful and not happy. Like, by far. Because what is success? What is it really? Other than you having certainty that others think you are of status of some sort. It's just your obsession with the validation of other people, with the validation of the world, with the validation of your parents, with the validation of standards of society. It's your obsession. It's this obsession you have. And what is an obsession other than identification with thought? That's all obsession is. It's like you're obsessed with a thought. There's a thought of trying to impress society. And then you grab onto this thought. And you're just like, I'm not letting this go. Keeping this forever. And then there's like this other thought of like happiness. And you're like, no, fuck happiness. I'm keeping the obsession with becoming the best. I gotta become the best. For what? Why do you want to be the best? Why are you so ultra competitive from the place of ego? Why? Understand, it's just social conditioning. It's not your masculine nature. This is what they try to trick you. They try to trick you into thinking this is your masculine nature. As males, sure, we can be competitive by nature. That is true. And I'm very competitive. I'm extremely competitive, right? But I'm not competitive to the point where I want others to lose. Which is a very interesting point because, shit, in most competitions, if I win, then that means you lose, right? So it's kind of there's a conflict here. It's like, I want to win, but I also want you to win. I want to win, but I want everyone to win, right? That's kind of how my brain works. I do think this is the ultimate way of thinking of society. It's like you don't want to just beat everyone. You don't want to like laugh at some dude's face because you stole his girlfriend. You think you're the fucking man. But you don't want to be the one getting your girlfriend stolen either, right? You want everybody to be happy. I believe this is the highest level consciousness of thinking. You just want to spread love and be love. That's it. Anyways, to get back to the point, because I know I kind of went around to many different topics. To get back to the point of how do we take back our life? How do we regain consciousness? How do we separate ourselves from thoughts? How do we become who we are, basically? How do we take back and become back like when we were kids? This is how you do it. You simply meditate a lot. I do think this is the number one technique. Now, there's much more to it. But really, meditation has taught me this idea more than anything else. Meditation, you got to view meditation as the practice of separating yourself from thought. So there's nothing that's going to separate yourself from thought more than meditation, because that is literally what meditation is. There's nothing more than that. Meditation is like your ability to practice self-control, which is what your problems, all your problems are because you lack self-control. Okay? All of it. Whether it's self-control with your physical movements, whether it's self-control with your thoughts, whether it's self-control with your discipline, whether it's self-control with your focus, anything. Let's say you don't have a girlfriend. It's your fault. It's your problem. It's your fault because you don't have self-control. And you might be like, what you mean I don't have self-control? I'm like, well, because if you had self-control, you would get jacked, you would make money, you would go out and approach women, you would learn dating, you would hire a dating coach, you would make the money to hire a dating coach, you would put time into it, and then you have a girlfriend. But you don't have self-control. You can't control yourself to do the fucking things you want to do. Which that shit should bother you. The fact that you can't control yourself. I can tell you it bothered me. And that's what led me on this journey of self-development. That's what got me to this position I'm in. Where I have an amazing life, man. I have a girlfriend that's beautiful and she loves me. I love her. She's amazing. I am part of the biggest community on Skool, SKOOL. Biggest self-development community there. All time. I get perfect sleep. My diet's great, and I don't have temptation with shitty food like I used to. I have extreme social confidence, I believe. Like, I could just go out and talk to anybody and make friends. Easy. I could keep going. Let me not brag, but I could keep going. My life is beautiful, okay? I fucking love it. And I'm telling you that because I know you can do the same. Because what allowed me to get to this point was self-control. But self-control begins with separating yourself from your thoughts. Because the thing is the way that your future self, who you want to become, thinks, it's not the same way that you think. It's not. If you were aligned with that thinking, then you would get to that position. So we have to somehow start thinking as your future self that you want to become. You see how this is very difficult when all you do is think about the past and about what this girl said to you, what this thing that happened to you. Or when you think about fear, when you think about what could happen in a negative way. You see how it becomes very difficult to think in alignment with your desired self when you just think of your undesired self. That's where the problem lies. So guys, it really is as simple as meditation. A lot of meditation. It's meditation as well with theory. Start watching this channel, honestly. This channel, I'm throwing this kind of shit all the time, man. All the time I'm throwing this kind of shit to make you more conscious and aware of yourself, of your brain. Okay, watch my channel. Listen to what I'm saying. I promise you're going to become more enlightened from it. I promise you, man. No doubt in my mind. So theory mixed with meditation. Meditation, Sergio, how do we meditate? You sit down for 15 minutes, 2 times a day. That's it. No guided meditation, no nothing. Just breathe. Observe your mind. Realize there's this mental chatter in your mind and just observe it. You want to sit down and just watch that mental fucking dude speak. Your little roommate. That's what I call it. It's like my roommate. It's like my annoying roommate. Oh, we got to go do this today. Sergio, remember that thing you got to do tomorrow. Like, that thing it's a big thing, man. You got to prepare. Oh, remember yesterday when that dude said this one thing? Like, do you remember that one thing? Like, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know, like, what else it says that much because I'm honestly pretty good at detaching from it. But you just watch your roommate speak and you just watch it. Kind of like, all right. You're not mad at it, okay? You're not like, fuck you, roommate. You don't do that. Because, by the way, if you do that, now you are the roommate. You created another thought, basically, right? So you're not mad at it. You just watch it. It's no judgment. Because judgments are thoughts. Observe, right? And I'm telling you, you do this 15 minutes, 2 times a day, you're going to notice you slowly disassociate with that roommate. And you start to become more in touch with who you really are. With that being said, if you want more help with this, if you want coaching, if you want someone to hold you accountable to your self-development goals, to becoming more socially confident, if you really want to level up in all these areas like I have, and I've helped many men have, link is in my description to work with me one-on-one, okay? With all being said, guys, have a great day. It was an amazing video. I'm super happy you watched the whole thing. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day. Peace out. Bye-bye.